Hi, so here I am, Patrick Townley, the second module of Busting Myths, a way to make art. So like last time we had a little look at space and making space work, because you know sometimes we don't feel we've got the space. Hopefully you've looked at that, you've worked out somewhere where you can do it. You know, over the next few videos I'll be explaining the materials you need. You don't need to massive outlay or anything. So you know, if you just don't need to worry about that. We'll be doing that in a later module. Today I just want to have another look at another obstacle, time really. So time is incredibly important. Of course it is, it's important to us always, and it's the time we get up, the time we go to sleep, the time we work. If we're not working anymore, then you know the time is precious, isn't it? It's our life, time is our life. So like, and the society we live in is like so governed, isn't it, by it's the start of the day, it's the end of the day, it's like, it takes me so long to get somewhere, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, etc, etc. So my dog needs walking. I'll just show you here, look, there she is, look, that's Ginger Rogers. She's my studio assistant, so she might make a bit of noise, but that's okay, I've got time for her. You have time for your friends, you have time. So, this thing about not having time, we've all got time. It's the way that we use it, isn't it? So, is this argument of I haven't got time to do something true? So, just like anything else, you know, we have to create time. We can create time if we become clearer about what it is we're going to do. So this is one aspect of time. Another one I want to introduce you, which I'll go into much greater depth during the modules in the main course. Like this course, this mini course here, this is like an introduction really to get your feet on the ground so that you can start to operate as an artist. So, you know, a little bit more of my story really. As I told you in the last video, in 2013 I had a heart attack. At the same time as starting to draw and stuff, I started to write. And on that quest of like writing poetry, is what I started to do. I set myself a task of writing every day. So it's like, it's a muscle really. This creativity is a muscle. It's like, in fact, you can do many different things in very short spaces of time, and then that gives you a chance to start working against this resistance, starting to really experience this resistance that you have towards doing it and stuff. So that's all in time. And then the other aspect of time to think about and ponder really is anything that you really enjoy doing or you've enjoyed doing in the past, whether it's playing bowls or whether it's like reading a book, or whether it is let me see, I don't know, knitting, or I like, you know, playing music. I like writing. I like walking in the countryside. I really love having conversations with my friends. You find, won't you, when you're really enjoying something, wow, doesn't time fly when you're having fun, as the saying goes. But this is quite important. So actually what is happening with that time? That time is like really fulfilling its full potential when you're enjoying it. At the same time, you know, you have the reverse experience don't you, when you're sort of waiting for a bus or you're on the phone waiting for the doctor, you know, you feel you're trying to make an appointment and they're playing that music. It's always the same music, and now fortunately I can just put it on loudspeaker and get on with some other stuff. You know, it can be like 10, 20 minutes to wait for your bank to answer, but we don't sort of question that, do we? So if we had that 10 or 20 minutes and we're doing something that we want, it's a completely different experience. So, another aspect, important aspect of time is absolutely around art. So, okay, a little bit of, well, not science exactly, but just mind-stretching thought. When you go out in the night, if you're lucky enough to be able to see the stars and you're not got air pollution, etc., but at least you'll see some of them, I expect. You know, you think, oh, they're amazing, the stars in the sky, aren't they? Absolutely incredible. Extraordinary. So then you start to think, well, how far away are those? And then they're a ridiculously massive distance away, aren't they? Absolutely. So, you know, then you start to realise, light travels at 186,000 miles per second. So these stars and stuff are millions of light years away. And a light year is, you know, how long it takes light to travel to you seeing it. So really what you're seeing is something that doesn't exist anymore. It's a complete an illusion. So in a sense, to draw that right back into our daily life, everything that we look at, everything that registers in our mind, has taken a certain amount of time for that information to go from where it is into your mind. Now that may only be a fraction of a second. I mean, a very tiny small fraction of a second. But, you know, actually we're made up of billions, actually trillions of cells in our bodies, aren't we? And each of those individual cells come together to form us and our life. So, you know, it doesn't change the fact that everything that you look at has actually happened in the past, however tiny that may appear to be. So consequently, when you look at a painting, so here's my latest commission. A young man wanted me to paint Martin Luther King, so I've had a go. He's happy with it. I'm just going to have it photographed and stuff. Job done. So, see, when I stand back here, there's actually, I'm further away from you. I know it's a complete another illusion because you're seeing me two-dimensional, not three-dimensional on a screen. That's what's so good about painting. You know, it can't be reproduced in photography. If I take the photograph of that painting, you can see the picture of what I've done and hopefully say, wow, isn't that amazing? Or not, that is completely up to you. However, you know, you're never going to see on a photograph what is happening in a painting. It's a completely different experience. So that's actually all tied into time on a micro level. But the time we need to do painting with all of this, like these understandings, it's like, wow, actually, so when you paint, you're looking at something which is a memory, so you can never, you know, we talk about painting to life, but actually we're never going to be able to paint actually to life because the time it comes into your mind and then you paint what you're looking at. If that's the type of painting that is the type of painting I'll be working on with you, and hopefully in the course where we make a great painting together, which is the main course. This course is actually preparing us so that we can take that leap forward if you so wish, and I hope you do, then so this aspect of time, it's not just about whether we've got time to do it, it's actually what is it we're doing? What is this time? It's this relationship between an object coming into our lives and then transmitting our response to it and putting it on a canvas. And then that canvas representing to us, to other people, what it is that we were painting. Isn't that incredible? So if somebody actually even recognises that that's Martin Luther King, it's a victory for a start. But I could be the type of artist that is actually, you know, it's disguised that it's Martin Luther King. I know it's Martin Luther King, but nobody else necessarily, but it still has his spirit, it still has a connection with him, because that's the type of person that I am, how I review things and how I put them on the canvas. So it's all completely valid. What is our difficulty and our problem is our confidence, isn't it? It's our confidence in ourselves as a human being and how wonderful our life is. So painting and doing anything creative is a means by which we can reconnect with the value and the fantastic power of our own lives. So that's time. We'll be looking at another subject in the next video, in the next module. What I want you to do between now and then is just reflect, maybe take a few notes, watch the video again, have a few notes what your thoughts about time is, etc., etc., and we'll move on to the next part. Thank you very much.